Hey guys, today's video is going to be just a short little review. It's been requested by a lot of you, so I thought I would just kind of talk a little bit about this guy today. We got some pros, we got some cons, just a little look at the website. This guy is the Explorer 1000, so without further ado, let's get into it. First, I want to start on the Jackery website. Jackery.com brings you right to everything that you need. So if we scroll down and look at the specs of the power station, it has an LED flashlight, it has a DC input, so this input right here is the one that goes into the wall, so you can plug it into the wall and charge it. This input is for your solar panel. You have a display button here that just lights the screen up to show what your inputs and outputs are and the percentage that your Jackery holds. You have a 12-volt charger here, and then this I love. So I'll show you it more on my actual Jackery, but there are multiple different charging options here, and then you have 3 of your outputs for your actual plug-in. So though I haven't really tried it, it says that it takes about 14 hours to charge through your vehicle. I've yet to try that one. For the AC adapter, it says it takes about 7.5 hours to charge. That's your plug-in. We run a 2200 Honda generator. It gives about 148 to 150 watts of input when we're charging it that way, and it does take about, I'd say, like 6 to 7 hours is fairly there, but we do not drain our battery, so we do not let the Jackery get below 25%. If we see like 30, we're like, we gotta get it charged. So when the solar panels are plugged into it, it does take a little bit longer, and I'll get into this a little bit later to one of my cons, but I absolutely love the solar panels. They are a very, very big pro because we don't have to buy gas and we don't have to run the generator. The Jackery comes with, obviously, the power station, and then it comes with all your inputs, so you're charging for the vehicle, you're charging for the wall, and then this connects to your solar panels if you choose to buy one. This portion I love, and I love to test it in a way. So it says a blender at 300 watts. You could run it straight for 2.5 hours before the Jackery would die. Space heater, 2.5 hours. Ice shaver, 1.5. Coffee maker, this is huge. So when we first bought the Jackery, we would start the generator to make coffee because we just didn't even try to see if the Jackery would run the coffee maker, because when we make coffee on our generator, it makes the generator rev up. So we were like, I don't want to overpower this Jackery and then it not work. So we finally just gave it a try, and we plugged the coffee maker in. It does take a lot of watts. I think it's gone up to like 800 when it's heating, but it takes about like 10%. So we'll unplug everything, plug the coffee maker in, make the coffee. Once the coffee's done and it beeps, the machine beeps, we shut it off, unplug it from the Jackery, and then plug our stuff back in, and it will take about 10% that we have, and then we just bring that back up with our solar panels in like not even an hour. Now, if you're wanting to power something more that's bigger, like say a refrigerator, then you click on one of these bigger guys. This is the 3000 Pro, and you can scroll down and it'll show right here, it'll power a refrigerator for 5 hours. It'll power a TV for 35 hours. So let's talk about the pros and cons of the Jackery. These are going to be my pros and cons. They could not be your pros and cons. They could give you more of an insight of what you're actually looking for, or they could make you just not want to buy the product at all. I 1000% recommend this product. It has helped us tremendously. Not having to run that generator is such a huge thing. The only time we need to run this generator is to charge the battery in the camper, and we can actually plug in the camper to this guy. It draws quite a bit of watts faster than we'd like, but it will charge the battery some so that we can run the pump and, you know, do dishes, stuff like that. So it really is a lifesaver. It's 1,000 watts, so it's gonna give you what you need within that 1,000 watt range. I purposely bought this Jackery to run my Starlink. Starlink gives about 43 watts is your output. Right now I have my solar panels plugged in and they're giving me about 25 watts. The sun is over there and my solar panels are down over here, so they're just losing sun. Another pro is I bought it specifically for my Starlink, but I also wanted to be able to plug my laptop into it. When I was looking into them, I didn't look further enough to know that these guys right here, these DC outputs, they actually have a spot for your Apple charger. So if you have an Apple charger with the big square, let me grab it. Let's just do that. So if you have one of these Apple chargers and you unplug, then you can plug this in to here to charge your laptop. So I did not look into this. I didn't look into what these USBs did. And so I went up a size in the Jackery so that I could have 3 of the plugins. The smaller size below this one, I believe, is the 500. And that one, I think, only has 1 plugin. So up to the 1000, they give you 3. So I know I could plug in my Starlink, I could plug in my laptop, and I could plug in a fan or anything else that needed to be plugged in here. My next pro with this guy is running the Starlink at 45 watts. Say it's a rainy day here and I'm not doing nothing. I need to be on my laptop if I'm editing a video, even if I'm like watching Netflix or just vegging out. Last year, if I wanted to be doing that, we would have to run the generator all day. And now I can just run the Jackery. So when it is rainy out, not sunny, then you're not getting any input from your solar panels. So it does run the battery down without having anything going into it, but you're getting to use what you need without the generator running, without burning any gas. On sunnier days like today, I was outside a little bit. I did have to run some errands, but it's at 100%, and we've just had the solar panels plugged into it all day. We've had the internet on. We made coffee this morning with it, and it's just keeps the battery charged, which I love. It's such a game to, you know, see what the input is and what's going into it. That's going to get into my next con. I purchased the 200 watt solar panels. They're the next size up of what the bundle comes with this one, so you can get the 100 watt or the 200 watt solar panels with this. It also has like an attachment, so you could get 2 200 watt solar panels and plug them in and have, you know, 400 watts going in. My con with that is that it doesn't give you 200 watts, and I've had them outside in direct sunlight, the sun hitting all of the panels like bluebird sky day, and we at most get about 120 to 125 watts pushed in. So, you know, you can supposedly get up to 200 watts. I haven't seen it. So I'm glad I went up and got the bigger size solar panel, because I'm wondering if I would have got the 100 watt if we would have only been getting, you know, 40 to 60 watts being pushed in, and that's how much it draws from our Starlink. So we would have just been meeting even there when we want more watts going in than coming out to keep that charge up. So my next con is with the solar panels. They fold out and have a nice case that they come in, but they're just on the ground stabilized so that you can't really put them up on the roof. It would be cool to put them up on the roof, but you would have to have some kind of system that would hold them there, and you wouldn't have to worry about them, because they are a little bit flimsy. When we have really high winds, they'll get knocked over. So if it's raining, high winds, we're not getting any input because of the day, then we'll just fold them up and bring them in so that nothing harms them, because they are a little pricey. But on sunny days, my con, which isn't a big deal at all, is that we do have to move them around with the sun. So at night, when the sun goes down, or basically right now, even though there is some sun hitting them right now and we're at 100%, I'll go out and move them over to where the sun rises. So I know that when we're up in the morning, the sun's hitting the solar panels and it's getting that charge. And then halfway throughout the day, we have to kind of move them again. And then around 3 or 4 o'clock, we'll start to pivot turn to the end of the day. In the future, when we have the house done, I would like to have them kind of mounted on the roof somehow, but that's later on, other plannings we have to do that I just can't even think about right now. There's a fan in it. I can feel the fan blowing out, and it's just cooling down, you know, that battery and that motor that's running in there. So all in all, I really do love this product. I'm so glad that I purchased it. I had been looking at this company for a couple years. I mean, when we moved into the camper, I didn't like running the generator all the time. I didn't like hearing it, and weird enough, our generator's located over in this area in a generator box, and our bedroom window is down on this side, and when the winds or the breeze is blowing just right when we're laying in bed at night and the generator's on, you can smell the fumes of the generator pushing through the bedroom, and I don't love that. So I just love that this is able to give us what we need. When we first moved into the camper, we didn't have internet. We just had the generator, and we would just go down to the lodge when we had to check our phones or make calls or anything like that. Or I was able to use my phone at work, but only bare minimum. Now we're able to use our phones and our laptops at work because we have Starlink. That's a totally separate video of a product that I absolutely love, that I probably won't do a video on, because you have to learn for yourself with these things. Like, you have to have the setup for it. You have to have the obstruction-free zone in land, and that's just something I can't recommend if you don't have it. So now that we have the Starlink and we have the Jackery, we're able to have the internet on. It's put peace in mind to me that if something is wrong, then I have ways for my family to communicate with me. I've dealt with a lot of deaths in my family the past couple years, so I'm always on edge, and just knowing that I have access to my phone and people are able to contact me has just made my life so much easier, so much more stress-free. The other cool thing about it is that, like, you can leave stuff plugged in, so our Starlink always stays plugged in, and you just press this button and it shuts it off. So there's no like unplugging and replugging and all that stuff. Same with over here on this side. So just a click of the button, it turns all of these outputs back on, your AC, and turns the Starlink back on. It tells you that it's pushing in 17 watts output, and it will go up to about 40 when the Starlink actually activates on. So if you guys are interested at all in this product, please look in my description bar down below. I will have a link to the website down there. It is an affiliate link to me, and it does help me out a bit, as I get a small bit of commission if you purchase one of these through my link. I never want to leave you guys out of the know with that. If I recommend a link or put anything in my description bar down below, I am an affiliate of it, and I will get a small commission back. It helps me out tremendously. It helps this channel out tremendously if you do use those links. So again, if you guys are interested in the Jackery Explorer 1000 or any other wattages that they have to offer, click the link down in the description box and it will bring you right to Jackery's website, and you can figure out for yourself what Jackery you need on all your adventures. Thanks guys, and we'll see you in the next one.